Champions of Europe, that's what we are. Let me sing it again. We won it in Bilbao. Won it in Bilbao. Champions of Europe, that's what we are. Spurs Corner, top till I die. Spurs Corner, top till I die. Spurs Corner, top till I die.
Big up, Maz. You're on mute, mate. Great start.
Exactly like Spurs. How Spursy is that? Exactly like Spurs. I was going to say, welcome to the Spurs Corner, the best place to be on a Sunday night. I was going to say that a happy place to be, but obviously we're never happy at Spurs.
Well,
But I'm
Arsenal
gonna do-
lost.
Look, I'm going to do. We're going to cut the pleasantries. Right,
Shameless.
Iggy's here, Dan's here. Dan's here for an hour. He's going to go to Shabba's show at 8. Mari's obviously here, which is good. JP may come on a little bit later. I think Stel might come on as well. Right, so it's going to be a fiery one today. Iggy, tell me your thoughts, mate.
All right. I was on We Are Tottenham TV during the week for the Champions League game, and I said, by the way, let me just start again, man. Big up to everyone in the chat. Big up to you boys. I hope you're well, and all of that. Yeah, I always like to start on that, man. Thanks for the many people that are joining and carry on joining us, man. All right. So I was on We Are Tottenham TV during the week for the Champions League game, and we won. And my comments were on the night were purely on the performance. I commented what I saw on the night, and there was a gentleman, I think it must forgive me, Matt. He came on quite late. I was tired by that point, but he did say, look, he said along the lines where, look, it's great getting a point at Liverpool. It was good for morale. You know, we broke, you know, stopped the rut with a not losing after 6 games. We won a tie that was practically gone away from us. But he said the real test will be against Nottingham Forest. He goes, that's going to be 0-0, 6 points up for grabs. That's going to be the test. He goes, if we don't get nothing there, these 2 games wouldn't have meant nothing. And it stuck. I thought of him when I was watching today's game, and he was right, man. We was getting a little bit happy with the fact that we drew at Anfield, a place that we notoriously lose all the time there, and we got gassed after that a little bit after the Atletico Madrid, more so for the performance than the result itself. And then today, man, I must admit, not only did we go back to performing in the way that we have been, and I was surprised that I did think in the back of my head it would be a lot closer, guys. I don't know what you guys were. I thought it'd be a closer contest, more of a dogfight. It might be one goal either way. But I said in the end, I said, look, man, the way it was going the first half, I thought, you know what, even a point here will mean something. What I didn't predict, honestly, guys, I didn't predict a 3-0 defeat. That's one thing I never ever predicted. I thought it'd be a dogfight. I thought it'd be scrappy. I thought, you know, and then, you know, I didn't know until quite late on that there was going to be this massive high street parade, sort of G the boys up and all of that. And I saw the clips about an hour or so before the game started on X, and I was like, bloody hell, man. I thought I was watching scenes at Wembley for the cup final. And then, you know, it was really, really weird because you know there's a cup final happening in the afternoon and you're thinking, and you got Arsenal fans and you know, City fans looking at our parade, looking at our high street thinking, bloody hell, like this game looks like it's bigger than the final. It was like that. Yeah, man, and I said it on my X account. I said, mate, if we could have just get anywhere near the amount of people protesting, like we did in today's game, we would have been somewhere by now. But yeah, man, my thoughts, Maz, to answer your question, man, and I said this just before we came on. I'm not hurt. It's just almost as I'm numb to it, man. It's just like it's like everything we've discussed when we were Tottenham away. Tottenham away one, then the then the Tottenham away two. Ever since this Tottenham way started from COVID, all the way through to the second channel, and then the third channel, and then Spurs Corner. Which the channels may have changed, but our stance has always been the same, man. This is a result of constant neglect and no accountability, and year after year after year, we keep allowing this to happen. And and JP sent me a video earlier on that you guys saw as well,
Yeah.
right? Of after the game in the bars, and
Yeah,
it was like another day at the office, man, where
yeah.
we lose. If nothing changes, where we pack at the bars, the food places were full up. Everything was as normal, and this is a mentality that has been drip fed into our being, if you like, in our Spurs being, right from the off, right for 25 years coming up to this now, and only the it's just become a normality. When I saw that video, I saw the game, I saw the performance, and it's just the norm. Which is why today, when I say I'm not hurt by it, of course I am, but it's just like it's just another day at the office. It really is. It's just another day at the office, and now we're talking about Igor Tudor could be sacked. I know he was called out at the press conference for family bereavement, but he's got nowhere to go. He's got no leg to stand. But yeah, here we are, man. Another manager will be going. How many is that? 20 now? 20 managers in 25 years? Listen, having read that, people saying to me, yeah, you know what, Harry's got to come in now. I don't think Harry's. I don't think God himself can come and take over at Spurs right now and save us from what looks like a real reality, guys, because we are the worst performing team in the Premier League by far. And when you're in that performance, when you're in that rut, when you haven't won a league game since December, there's only one thing going to happen at this club. And only West Ham doing worse can actually keep us up, not us. I don't think we're going to get another result anytime soon. Sunderland away, and all the other games following after that, we're not going to get another result, mate. And only
It
West Ham
was.
having a tough fixture, only them having a tough fixture list is the only hope we've got of us staying up if they do worse.
I think you're being
That's where
far
I'm
too
at with that.
kind. I think you're being far too kind to them, Iggy, to be honest with you. Dan?
No, I'm just trying to rationalise my thinking, man. I don't want to just. I know.
Well,
There's plenty of you
I'm
can
ready to. I'm
explode,
ready to
and
go
all of
off,
that.
right?
I'm just. That's where I'm at now. 3 hours ago, I probably would have answered you in a different tone, but now we're like, it's 7:15 now. I'm thinking, we're doomed. We are doomed.
Dan, how do you take the liberalisation? We were saying in the backstage, we've got the wokest, weakest, pathetic fan base in the country.
Sports. In
Right?
sports. All of sports.
football.
This is what happens. This is what happens, right? When you're too concerned, right, with being nice to everyone, having entertainment, right, putting everyone's flag around the stadium, right, and not
PR.
focusing on the football. So Dan, take it away, mate. Tell me how you felt.
Well, same Spurs, different day, innit? Basically, I think that saying is just going to stick with me. Yeah, when it comes down to it, I agree. I mean, you can't say everyone, but you can say a majority of this fan base just proved it today how pathetic we actually are. Now, I do get behind the players. I get the idea of it, but when you can get 10 to 20,000 outside doing that, but you get 150 people standing there to do a protest and 55,000 just walk past, it just about answers every question. And then going like for a big piss up afterwards, not even just, in the place at half time and everything, just spending the money. And then all the fans there, the definitely ones that do make me laugh is the ones standing there giving it all like, we're behind you all the way, this and that. And then with 20 minutes to go, half of them left the bloody stadium anyway. And and they can't even stand there and start like at the perfect time while the game is on and everything, start singing like we start chanting, we want Enoch out and everything else. Yet they can't do that. And this fraud lot that what is it? Change for Spurs and everything and that, saying that they want the best for the club and everything. Don't make me fucking laugh. What's a load of bollocks, mate? Yeah, do you know what? I had a ticket for today, and also changed my wife's hospital appointment so I could go to the protest today. And then it all gets changed to a parade. Do you know what? If I'd have actually gone there, I might as well have just brought a bloody rainbow flag with me. That's what it feels like up there. Like you say, it seems like anyone's scared to offend anything up there or whatever. They just want to ignore the main problem now. And things aren't going to change there. It's people have just let this happen now. They're not doing nothing about it. Still, it's not going to stop anytime soon. And we are going to get relegated, basically, like this.
Dan, I'm sorry to interject. I'll tell you one thing on that point. We will never do anything about it. Today, for me, proved to me without a shadow of a doubt, we will never do anything about this. Ever.
Not,
it's
too upper class. There's too many people there who are just basically there. Like I've been told that there's not as much fight in the fan base like there as such at Tottenham because the working class got pushed out of it. Where if the working class got pushed out of it, then that means it must be full of upper class in there, unless I'm understanding something wrong. And people are just there. It seems like to watch a bloody game, like just to watch the game and then just go on and have a fun time. Okay, you don't let the football take over your life and that. But surely if you've got the passion and the love for your club that some people preach on about, you're willing to at least get stuck in and try and do something with the other fans. But when you just see literally nobody else even bothering, it does give you that idea of like, well, why should I put the bloody effort in?
Then I've been saying this for years. I was telling Stefan this, and I've told the boys this, and I don't understand. I can understand. First of all, you know what? I wasn't really encouraged by playing this game against Forest, and it's like Iggy said, I've come numb to the results. But this game today, with the fans, I'm so disgusted with. And here's the reasons why. Just to stem off of your point, I've said this to the guys. I know you probably might have heard me say it. It's weird. Most there's clubs, right, where Real Madrid or the AC Milans, where you have the working class people, and you also have, because of their success of both clubs, the wine and cheese people, right? Right? There's each section of a club. But our club, and let's be honest, we don't win shit all the times, right? We go every 10, 15 years, right? In this case, 17. I'm amazed that we have more of a wine and cheese mentality in regards to protests, in regards to making noise, which I've been harping on. And even some people who've appeared on the channel said, Mari, you're... And I'm like, oh, maybe because you're a Yankee, because I was hearing that all on Salva's show from the chat or whatsoever. And maybe I am, all right? We're the country that had the Boston Tea Party, right? We didn't like in our blood is protest. There's revolt, there's riot, there's making noise. And we're not talking about going on the deep end or going crazy. It's just making enough noise to make Enoch either sell, which is harder, or change. Those are the two things. And so these groups like Change for Tottenham seem like very nice lads, but they are soft like tissues, right?
Man,
Very soft.
Murray,
like kinda-
I'm done with change. I'm done with change. I'm done with just changing.
I'm with you.
This needs a complete and utter reset. This needs an overhaul. We're
know what up?
beyond change. We are
I'm with you,
beyond
Iggy.
change.
I'm
I'm
with
past that.
you, Iggy.
Just real quick, Murray. Just real quick in the chat, guys. I don't mind you disagreeing with anybody here in the panel, including myself. I don't have a problem with rebutting and even counter arguing anything that we're saying. What I won't condone, guys, is calling people clowns. I don't know who that person was referring to, but please reciprocated. We respect your opinions. We may not agree with it. We may agree with it. And you can be the same with us, but please don't be calling anyone any clowns. I don't think it's correct, and it's not reply. And I understand the moment everyone's pissed off. I get it, but we can't be. Let's cut out the name calling, please.
You know what? I used to care. I don't even care. They could call me all the names of the book.
No. I'm not saying they're calling you that. They called someone. I don't know who it was referring to, but let's just cut that out, boys and girls.
I know. You guys know I've been consistent, even with my old channel. Tavistock out. Levy out, Joe Lewis out. Like I've been consistent. I've been consistent because we've had the most turnover of coaches, managers, scouting directors of anybody, not only the Big Six, but in the Premier League. We have never had the consistency to be able to build something of solid, to have an ethos, to have a DNA, to have a philosophy. And the fans have never forced it, like AC Milan fans, like the South American ultras.
Murray, forget
Chelsea,
the Italian, forget all of that. We are out of the big six teams, all right? If you look at what's happened over the years, just in the Premier League alone, you've had Arsenal fans protesting, you've had Chelsea fans protest, United, you've had Chelsea, Everton as well, Newcastle. All these big teams, and in my eyes, Everton are a big team. They may not be in the top 4, 5, 6, but they are still a big club.
Chelsea's
in my eyes.
7th.
So all these guys have all protested against their owners, and on the back of them protesting, sorry, Mario, on back of their protested, there's been a shift in the way the owners have then moved straight after that. We are the only team, if you like, in the big. I don't see us in the big six anymore. I don't even count as a big club. I haven't done so for a long, long while. In terms, because big club for me doesn't just result into asset or trophies.
Money.
For me, it's mindset. It's the mentality of that club, and we haven't had any for a long, long time. We know what this club's about. We have known for about. Listen, I wore this shirt today, man. One love, and with the Spurs, thinking, you know what I mean? Because I thought today was one of those days where I had to be loved more than anything else. But do you know what? It's gone. That love for me there, man. It's like it's just killed any part of it.
Let me finish my point. I had my Tottenham shirt on. Once it went 2-0, I took it off and threw it on the floor. Because I'm just disgusted from top to bottom, the mentality of this club, from Enoch to the fans. And when I say fans, I'm not all fans, because there are fans who know what is the problem with this club. But we have too many. We're outnumbered by those, if we get the video to show, who are having beer, the wine and cheese group. We're too outnumbered. They don't care.
It changed from a protest to a parade.
Pep rally. Let's have a pep rally. Yay!
Do you know what the joke is?
But when it comes to protest or making real noise, where are these people? Nowhere to be seen. And for
the
me,
most embarrassing thing.
F y'all.
Sorry, Maury. Go on.
My mindset is F those people. Forget them, man.
The embarrassing part of it is not only are we in Arsenal's shadow for what they've won and we have won, we're also in their shadow of their fan base, basically. Why? Because their fan base are willing to turn up in the thousands, fight with each other, then realise divided is conquered, team up together and get what they wanted out of that. Even our fan base is in shadow of their fan base for what they'll fight for their club. And that makes me physically sick saying it.
Yeah, I agree with you, Dan. Stel, come on. I saw what you said on We Are Tottenham TV. So,
do you know what? I don't even need to watch that We Are Tottenham TV because I know him well enough to know what he said on that. But for the benefit of those who haven't, By all means, go ahead because I know, man. I've been with him at Tottenham away for too long not to know the thought process, man. And do you know what? In a lot of it, he's been right on it. He has. And mate, do you know what? Still, before you go on, man, what hurts me the most? Do you remember that time where it was like, was it? I can't remember if it was either outside the training ground or was it outside this opposite the Spurs shop, and we was fucking hissed, but sworn against, calling us pricks, idiot, all these names by our own fans who were passing by. I think it was outside the stadium actually because they were going to the game. We weren't actually going to the game. We was outside protesting. Then we went to a pub, Antwerp Arms, to get a drink. We didn't even go to that game, and we was like, must have been about 100 of us, and we was just sworn at, cussed at, and saying, what the fuck you not doing? You like poison, all this. And now, think of that time, and you fast forward to where we are now, and I think to myself, who are the fucking twats now? Who are the fucking idiots now? Who are the fucking? Do you know what? When I think about it now, I get so angry about it. And since post Conte, I think I went to one game under Ange, and that's because my brother wanted to go and see the Spurs stadium. He hadn't yet been there, and he begged. He was going, "No, I'll only go if you go." And it was the only game I went on to see under Ange when we knocked out Man City in the cup. And then the last one I went to was with you, and because we had family over from Greece who also wanted to go and see the Spurs stadium, and it was the only game I've been to under Frank, and that was absolute wank. That game, I think it was Sunderland.
It's
And that's
it's
it.
interesting.
I'm done with it. I'm done. I won't go to the stadium again. I said it after Conte, I wouldn't go there again. And for those two reasons, if it weren't for family, I wouldn't have gone in either. And here we are today. I can't fucking believe it, man. I believe it. I can believe it, but at the same time, I can't. I'm like, I can't believe this is actually going to happen.
It's interesting because you say, do you remember that time when we stood there protesting and they called us pricks? I still get called a prick.
No, but do you know what I mean? Like, they should have been. I know. You'll get it no matter what. I know that.
Yeah, but you are. So what does it matter?
Embrace it. And you might embrace it. You're not going to change it. But could you imagine, Stoke, we had those numbers that we had today on the high street? A quarter of those numbers. A quarter.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what, Maz. You tell me where you want me to start. Okay. I can go back to the sacking of Ange. I can go to the hiring of Frank. I can go to the January transfer window. I can go back 5 years ago. I can go to the sacking of Conte.
This is going to be a 15-hour stream.
Okay. Well, I'm saying, tell me where you want me to start, and I'll start from there.
Stay what you want to say, man.
Look. My opinion of today is that we've gone so far we've gone so liberal as a club that we're not even a football club anymore. Our fans don't go there to watch football. They can't go there to watch football because the product's shit, right?
Let me start there.
It's easy. It's easy to play without pressure. It's easy. It's easy.
Let me start there. Maz, let me start there. Right. So
it's easy to play without pressure.
When we played Liverpool, I went on with our Tottenham TV and I said we were shit. We were not good. Right? Liverpool were worse. Liverpool, being the home team at Anfield, that's the worst Liverpool performance I've seen at Anfield against Spurs in my life. We deserved the draw because they were shit, but we were shit. The backlash was unreal. I had to call them up and say, guys, turn the comments off because the abuse is off the scale. And they turned them off, right? Respect. It was insane. All because I said we were shit. And then we played Atletico Madrid, second leg, and I said, look, we played well, but there's no pressure. We're already out of the game. When we played Burnley, when we played Man City, and we did really well start of the season, everyone got excited. And I said, guys, Burnley are going down. We always beat City. And then look what happened. The wheels came off. Frank got sacked. When we played really well against Borussia Dortmund, again, that game, I said, guys, no one expected us to do anything in this game. There's no pressure. Today was pressure, right? Today was pressure. And like I've been saying, pressure burst pipe. Pressure burst pipe, okay? Judge us when the pressure's on. Don't judge us against Liverpool away, where everyone predicted 6-0. Don't judge us against Atletico's second leg after the tie's already been decided in Madrid, where we capitulated under pressure. Because when we played Fulham, that was a must-win game. We lost. When we played against Crystal Palace, must-win game, we lost. These are the pressure moments. Judge us today. And today, we conceded 3 goals against a team who hasn't scored more than a goal on average the last 10 games. And I think the last time they scored 3 goals is when they beat us at their ground. So this team that scored 3 today.
Yeah, 6-0 out. 6-0
I spoke. Do you know that guy? Do you know that guy? Wolfie, who does the Nottingham Forest kind of YouTube stuff. I spoke to him after the game today. I messaged him. He cannot believe they put 3 past us, and he banters us, and even he's in shock. And I was like, but this is Tottenham, and the problem we've got is our fan base has got such low standards. They're so weak that any little crumb you give them, they think it's steak, filet mignon, lobster thermidor. They think it's Michelin star Gordon Ramsay food, where the reality is, no, it's crumbs. We today, it was a joke. The centre-backs at left-back, the most creative midfielder who's created the most big chances for Spurs this season, Simmons, is on the bench. We've gone with 2 kids in midfield in the most important game of the season, and the most experienced player with leadership skills in midfield, Paulinho, is on the bench. Today, now listen to this. This is the most important game of the season. Gray got 90 minutes. Pape Sarr got 84 minutes. Paulinho, no minutes. Gallagher. 6 minutes. Xavi Simmons, 23 minutes. So all these people that flipped violently, we've got to stick with Tudor now. We've got to stick with this manager because we got a jammy one. Well, because both teams were shit at Anfield and because we turned up against Atletico after the tie was done. Because of those games, we've got to back Tudor now. He's the man. And Mateus Tell and Archie Gray. Listen, it's all nonsense. We got battered, absolutely ripped. And as for this street parade, jamboree, Tupperware party, whatever you want to call it, these fans had the audacity, to have a go at fans like us who say, why aren't we protesting? Why are you giving ENIC what they want? You've given ENIC a get out of jail card again. Their response to fans like us is, just back your team. Always, forever, in it together. Stand up, sing up, stay up. At 2-0, they're walking out the stadium. At 3-0, it was an emergency evacuation. It was an emergency evacuation.
Yeah,
these are the fans. These are the fans.
To the bar downstairs.
Iggy, they're the fans that have a go at us for the stance we take, and yet they don't even honor the words they say. At least when we say ENIC out, we protest. At least when we say ENIC out, we take action. We honor the words. Their words, it's all gaslighting, virtue signaling, woke, liberalistic nonsense. They just do things to please each other, and they do things that they all can say, yay, look, we're all together, rather than actually saying, guys, we've got to man up and do something that we've not done before and stand up to these owners. So let's see now. When we play Leeds United, Maz, last thing. Let's see now. In a few weeks' time, we've got another big 6-pointer against Leeds at home. They better put on a street party. They better get that coach there and do that again, because this is another big game coming up. Because if they don't do it, then that's an admission that this was an absolute joke. So what I'm looking at now is we've got another big 6-pointer against Leeds. I want to see a street party again. Otherwise, everything they told us was the biggest con. And I'm telling you, there ain't going to be a street party when Leeds comes. Just you wait and see. They won't do it again.
There's 2 things I want to say. I've been seeing a lot in the comments on various different channels, people saying, oh, well, if we protest now, it won't make any difference. We're not protesting to make a difference now. We're protesting for the future. It's too late now. They've already voted. We're going down. You've made your bed. You've got to lie in it this season, right? If we even if we have 80,000 fans tomorrow outside the stadium, ain't going to change jack shit. It's too late now, right? You should have done it when we told you to do it 3-4 years ago, right? This is why, when people say, sacking Frank and everything's not going to make a difference, right? And all of that, it won't make a difference to the ownership, right? And it's not going to make a difference to us on our trajectory going down. They're right on that front, right? Because the fans never stood up in the beginning.
Can I say this, Max? Can I say this just to follow Stell's point? And like today, like I said, I was on Salva's show earlier, and it's funny, right? Because and I'm not going to defend my culture, and people want to be, because I'm a Yank whatsoever. Go ahead, great. If I'm able to see that following the Pied Piper, which is Enoch, and we're falling on the cliff, and I see that we are falling off a cliff, and I love my club to not follow the Pied Piper, then what does that say more of me as a fan who doesn't want to follow? Support the club, fight for the club, follow them wherever they go, follow them, support everything that they do. Like, for me, I've seen for years, on our channel, my previous channel, that there is a lot of this club is so incompetent. It's not even funny in how they run this club.
But our fans are incompetent, Maury. That's the problem. That's what I'm annoyed about today.
They're in
Our
denial.
fans are the only fan base that I've ever seen clap their team and sing the manager's name when you're getting pumped 5-1 in the stadium.
And still,
the only fan base that I've ever seen doing a parade when you're about to get fucking relegated.
yeah. And the fans still don't say Enoch out. 3-0, 2-0 today.
But
They don't say Enoch out.
Even if they had the best intent with that parade, the fact that they put ratings out and stuff like that, it was like, honestly, it felt like the 21st of May. It was that, man, the volume of people on that high street was crazy. But do you know what? Even with that, even with all of that, the players did not put anything out there.
We're going to come to the players. Iggy, no, hold on, but we'll come to the players. I just want to say this one thing. We're also the only fan base that has a protest group that works with the club to put on the fucking parade.
I know that for me.
Which fan bases do that?
Yeah,
I'm so angry with it. Right,
Maz.
You know what? Billy T might be a lovely bloke. I've met him. He's a nice bloke. But what a fuck up. You know what? He should step down from doing it, and his mates, all right, and let other people do it, because
Change for Tottenham.
People who have cojones. People who have cojones. People who have no fear. People who want to make noise. They
must have been put under some serious pressure by other people around
Guys,
them. I don't know, man.
Change for Tottenham collaborated with the people we're supposed to be protesting against.
Yeah.
Make that make sense. The people that we're protesting against, Enoch, they've collaborated with them for this hoo-ha on the high street. The club, when they were told, we want to back you, we want to back this nonsense, can you put on a team bus for us to party with? If you're the club, you're thinking, wow, yeah, we can do that for you. So what, we're together now? Yeah, we're together. Okay. It's nuts. It's absolutely nuts what they did today. And what it shows is this. What it shows is our fan base, they just want good times, and they're not prepared to fight for those good times, because the good times are so short and far between. We as a club we as a fan base should be fighting for those good times, but we're not. We just hope it will work out. We hope everything will come together, and we just hope that Enoch are going to do this. Guys, do you know what? Let me just stop talking, because I'm going to go into one. But people think I'm mad. They think I'm a lunatic when I say relegation. I'm not. It's because of what you saw today. I've lost all faith with all fans. I've lost all faith. The only way things will change is if Enoch sell, which they're not, because they know this fan base is going to keep giving them what they want. So the only way is relegation, because it will hurt them. And the fans aren't prepared to hurt them. If the fans were prepared to hurt Enoch, you wouldn't hear me talk about relegation. You think I want us to be relegated? You think I want to see us play Millwall and Scunthorpe and all that nonsense? The only reason I want a relegation is because I know it's the only way Enoch are going to feel pain, and they're going to have to do something different. And it's the only time this fan base might, and it's a big if, they might actually stand up to them, because that might be the pain barrier they don't want to go into. But I don't believe they will, though, because I've given up. I've given up.
Parade when
I
we go
disagree.
down.
I don't think that's going to happen.
We'll have
Yeah.
80,000 fans on the high street clapping them, saying, "Well done, we'll see you in the championship next year."
Yeah, probably
I
right,
wouldn't
man.
put it past them.
But this is why I do. This is why I do the whole delegation thing, because I've given up on any future. The current way we're going, and it's not going to change if we stay up. It's not going to change if we stay
I
up.
want to bring Dan in because he's going to be going on to Sava's show in 20 minutes. Right.
This
Check your
Terry
private
Flowers-
chat as well, Kick.
Yo, no, but before Dan, go, yo,
Cool.
what's your problem, Dan? Terry Flowers? Like, dude, calm down, chill, bro.
Listen, I
you
get
can
it.
make it
Everyone's
close.
emotional, man. Still,
Yeah,
you got
man,
mute.
his
You got mute
comments-
still.
You're mute.
You got mute.
Dude, take a chill pill, man.
I was going to say, ignore Terry Fleurs. It's one of those troll accounts that follows me wherever I go. He's like
no,
a.
you know what? You know what? I've already
ban him from the
I've already
show,
said
so
this. If you
end of
want to
story.
Let him. I don't mind.
No,
Let him.
no, but it's not the point. The point is, if you want to disagree with anyone's comment, counter argue it instead of just calling people names and forward and stuff like that. Otherwise, my man, I will block you, man, woman. I don't really care what you are. I will block any attacks on anyone in the panel. It's not correct. Just counter attack the argument and don't be going after anyone. I get that everyone's pissed off. Everyone's annoyed, man. We're all upset about what's going on.
Iggy, the troll accounts aren't going to change. They love it. They live for it.
Anyway,
It's
is what it
cool.
is.
Dan,
Yeah.
It's
tell
cool.
me
He
about the
blocks everyone,
lineup.
but he
today.
has every right to block whoever he wants. If you're going to be speaking like that, then he's right to block you, and we'll do the same. So speak with respect, make your point, say what you got to say, counter argue it, but don't be cussing people on.
The thing is, right? If someone hates you, like if I know someone hates me, I don't hang around with them. I don't call them up to go out for a drink. I just stay. I stay away from them. They stay away from me. So if someone hates me on YouTube and it's my channel, I'm going to block them. Why would I want someone who hates me on my channel? Right? It doesn't make sense.
Anyway, look,
Yeah.
let's move it on from this. Dan,
Mhm.
tell me what you thought about Tudor's lineup and the tactics implemented throughout the game. There's no point doing it first half, second half. It's just pointless. Just tell me what you thought on that, because still raised some good points on the, what he thought were the mistakes. Do you agree with him? What did you see?
Why he just didn't play the same team that we basically had against Atletico Madrid, I don't know. In that aspect, Paulinho should have started, but I don't know if he was 100% fit, so I can't really argue that one. But why didn't Simmons start? But again, this is the second manager now that keeps leaving Simmons out. Is there something deeper to it? I don't know. Is he a luxury player, like some people have said to me, or is it just that he hasn't got the mentality, physicality for it, or whether? I don't know. But why they left him out? He's the only creative player we've actually got. And then to bring him on with like 15 minutes to go or 20 minutes to go, whatever, it was already irrelevant. The game was already lost, basically. I mean, again, certain players on there proved again that they are not good enough. I.e., Tell, everyone preached how much of a great game he had. Gray, Sarr in the previous game, and they just proved again that Winks and Skip were more capable together than bloody Gray and Sarr. It was basically a fluke against Atletico Madrid. Other one as well, people like Romero. Screws it up the other end of the pitch, ball comes down. He literally walked from one end of the pitch to the other. It's the whole thing. You can blame it on the manager, yes, because I think it was just weird what he tried doing today, but it's nothing abnormal, where he's tried doing so many weird things and chopping and changing every time. But then it's down to the players as well. Half of them got no heart, no bollocks, no fight in it. They don't care at the end because they're going to be going, they'll keep their money, they'll go to another club, whatever. And so they don't really care either. So I don't really think it matters what the manager does. I don't think you're going to get nothing special out of these players. What happened against Liverpool, that was just a day of, how shall I put it? We looked better because we was only shit. Not fucking shit, basically. Simple as that. And Liverpool were terrible at finishing. But it gave us a bit of hope.
Dan,
Same as Atletico.
On the Xavi point, see, the thing is, I would say, yeah, that's a great point, that two managers now have come in and have not started him a lot for whatever reason. But every time I see Xavi comes on, one thing I can't fault him on is his effort. When you look at his stats, his running stats, he runs all over the place. It's not as if his running stats are down, that he doesn't press, he doesn't put in tackles and stuff like that. He's doing all these things. He doesn't look like, maybe one game where he looked a little bit like disinterested, in the sense that
he gets knocked off the ball very easily, same as Gray, Sarr, and others.
I've never looked at him and thought, why is he on the pitch? He's not giving us, anything or anything like that. Yeah, he's had games obviously where he's not done well, but he's also had games where he's been the best player on the pitch, or has been one of the best players. We
didn't lay a glove on the goalkeeper today, man. And I'm thinking, if you don't have a creative player on the pitch, how are we going to create chances? He's the only one fit at the moment, creative wise. But then, even if there is an argument for Xavi Simons, there can't be an argument for not playing Palhinha, man. He's like the best number 6 we got, and I don't know anybody that says, you know what, guys, Sarr should definitely be ahead of him.
I don't think he's fully fit, Iggy. I don't think he's been fully fit all season. I reckon
man,
he's had a little... when a player has a little knock...
Yeah, man, but even if he's got 45 minutes, you're like, all right, he can't play a whole game. Put him on at half time, man. Put him on the hour. Put him on... Start him and then take him off. If he's got 50 minutes, so be it, man. But he can't not play at all, like nothing. In this is the kind of matches that he should be playing, because we need a bit of heart, an engine in midfield. And today, man, what's the young English fella for Nottingham Forest? He bossed it with
Anderson. He absolutely controlled us in every which way.
He bossed it with Gibbs White and the other, and they were so good in the middle of the park, and we just, again, we couldn't get near them. That's the thing, we could not. And then, guys, I don't know about you, but I don't know what happened at half time in Tudor's mind to make the changes that he did.
That they've got to be some of the worst changes I've ever seen.
Why didn't he just stay? He should have just stayed the way he was. Why would he change and make the team worse than what it was in the first half?
Spence,
what happened at half time?
Bombing forward.
Van de Ven, I think, got a knock, fine, but Spence, I don't understand it.
But Iggy, but when some of us fans said, can we not jump on this Tudor hype train because of midweek? Can we just calm it down a little bit? And people just got carried away and completely changed their views on Tudor off the back of 2 games. Yeah. It was insane. And I'm not talking about just weirdos in the chat that have fake names on your channel, my channel, his channel, their channel. I'm talking about people that we're friends with. People on streams just completely changed their views on Tudor, saying, you got to back him now. You got to stick with him. And when you ask them,
I back every manager, but I can't back stupidity on things that don't make sense to me.
But Iggy, what did Tudor do to deserve to be backed? Because he came in to keep us up.
Oh, no, he's gone.
Enoch gone.
No, he's gone. Look, I'm in agreement. Like Arsenal, you can think, okay, Arsenal's his first game. That's hard for any manager. Yeah, Stell's disappeared, so we'll have to get him back in a sec. You know what? Arsenal was he'd only been there a few days before the Arsenal game. Fine, but Palace and Fulham, my God, I knew then. I thought, you know what? This guy just chopping and changing tactics, changing formation. Who's on the boat? Who's not on the boat? And then nah, man. I thought he ain't for me, man. He ain't for me, and I can't believe at such a crucial point in the season, this guy was appointed without any And my concern was that, you know, coming into the Premier League, a league is never managed, and when we was all we was all shouting for Redknapp to come into it. All of us here, we were saying, you know what, get someone that knows the league, get someone who's been at Spurs, get someone that knows that understands the situation we're in and tries to get the best out of this team. Even going 4-4-2, strip it down to basics and just get some sort of heart beating again. This like we're fucking CPR mode, man.
What
CPR
does
mode.
it matter? What does it matter whether they know anything about Spurs or not? Now, I get the bit about the Premier League, yeah? I mean, to me, I was more a manager should know how to manage, basically, and I'm sure he's watched English football as such, yeah? But who gives a toss if he knows anything about Spurs or not? Who really cares?
No,
now, for the long run, I get it. But
in the situation that we're in, you thought Redknapp might be the better choice. It might be the better choice in that moment.
But what does it matter if they know anything about Spurs or not?
Because he has an immediate impact. You know, Redknapp would have such an immediate impact.
Yeah, Redknapp might.
Do you know what I mean?
That's not what I'm asking you. A lot of people say this, Iggy, that we need someone in there who knows how Spurs work. Why? What does it matter? They're here to keep us up. What you need is a manager in there who, okay, I'll step back on one bit, needs to know the Premier League better and how it works, can get a team out of relegation. What does it matter whether he knows anything about Spurs or not?
No,
maybe for a long run. And plus, we haven't got a set way of playing. There's been no Spurs way of playing.
It wasn't. Let me clarify that. When I say Nine's about Tottenham, it's like he knows the place already. So the impact he can have as a manager is more. The injection that's required it's more quicker than this guy who's going to take 2 or 3 games to find this team to get to know the players. Mate, you ain't got time for that.
If
you
the
got
players have never met him, what does it matter? If the players have never met him or spoke to him, what does it matter?
What I would say to Dan is, it's purely to appease the fans, mate.
Now that side of it I can understand.
Because the fans can get behind it. He was a legend. We loved him. Blah blah blah. Yada yada yada.
And they'd still piss off with 20 minutes to go if we're 2-0 down anyway, so who cares?
The reason why you need someone who knows the club and the fans know and stuff like that is because that manager can basically treat the players how they need to be treated, right? And he'll gain the automatic respect because he's been part of the club and he's well respected by the fan base. The problem with what we don't know is you know, fine that they've turned up, you know, a little bit for Liverpool, which we know that Liverpool were awful, and you know they turned up for Atletico in the second leg when there was no pressure. But we don't know whether the players are playing for him or not, or whether some of them are down tools or not. Whereas if you've got a manager like Harry Redknapp in, who's been part of the club before and has got the respect, right, and he's been brought in by the hierarchy to fucking save us, so he's getting backing immediately from the hierarchy. It's obvious to the players that he's getting backed immediately from the hierarchy. I think that gives you a better chance. But Dan, I get your point. That doesn't mean it's going to make any difference.
But what
long term, I can understand it, but short term, it's irrelevant.
But at least for us, we can identify. At least we know that if Redknapp came in and Sherwood would be like, if we go down, it wasn't their fault. They tried. Do you see what I mean? Because in other circumstances, they would have been all right. That's my reason for wanting them in.
What if the players don't like him though, and they just go off? At the end of the day, like, I feel the players almost need to be the manager.
JP, man, they're professional athletes who are on ridiculous amount of money. They're professional. Whether we actually what we think of them is another matter. But the matter of fact is, their title is they are professional athletes there to do a job, and these guys are checked out, man. They have checked out. I think 1 or 2 have already lined up, have got it in their head that they're going to be elsewhere in the summer. I think that's happening. So who cares where Tottenham is when they've already checked out, already lining up their next move? Who do they don't give a shit where Spurs are going to be this summer?
They've been the constant for the last 3-4 years, right? We had this all the time. Oh, the players don't like Mourinho. Oh, some of them didn't like Conte. Oh, at the end of the day, even though Ange did whatever in the Europa, right until that last game, all throughout the season, we kind of heard stories of, oh, the players don't like Ange, they don't like playing this style, they don't like, he's lost the dressing room, all of that. We had everything else exactly the same with Thomas Frank. Oh, the players don't like him. What? Where do you go? Why don't the players punish
Players are
themselves?
just
then?
like players at Spurs are just like kids are in real life.
What other
They've
club
got,
though?
they've got too much power. Simple as
What?
that.
What other club does the players have that much power?
I haven't seen one where I think they've got that. I think pretty much any club, to an extent, unless you've got a manager like Klopp or Pep or something like that, I think pretty much it's the same at any club. I mean, Real Madrid has the problem where the fans have too much power, don't they? Where a manager can get the sack because Mbappe don't like him, basically, yeah? And that is just how big the players are now. But I think it also shows at Spurs, a point I keep saying, I think football is more mercenary than it is loved now. You go back 20, 25, 30 years and that, players actually played for pride of the club, even if they didn't like the club. And they also played for their own pride. Whereas now, a lot of players, obviously not all, but a lot more players, it's a job. They're getting paid. They don't care. What do they give a shit? And now I understand it's a dog-eat-dog world.
Yeah.
That's the attitude I'd have. I wouldn't really, if I didn't like the club or whatever, I wouldn't care less about the club. But I would have pride in myself that I want to play better. And a lot of these players don't even seem to have that.
Yep,
It's JP. You went to the game today, didn't you?
it was utter shit.
Well, what was the what was the fans like in the first half?
Yeah, show us that
Obviously-
video clip again, JB. For the benefit of those who haven't seen it. I
All the
was,
people, all,
hey, I
all the
wasn't
people
I
straight
wasn't
up.
shocked.
I was stunned in my chair for a little while. I kind of started doing a video, and then the music came, and then
Then
it
you
was
fell
like,
off it.
okay, well, let's not do that. And then I walked. It was about. I probably spent about 15 minutes after the game because they come and usher you out straight away and stuff. I was so surprised that as I walked down to that, but one that bar area, it was absolutely packed, laughing, joking, people downing beers. Then when I went down to the lower floor, the pizza place was, pizzas coming off the trolley. Lots of people in there drinking beers.
It was the same when we lost to West Ham, when I was there at the so-called protest and everything.
And this is everything to. I don't understand. Does everyone not realise that pretty much the conclusion I came to today was the club's getting relegated? Does not all of those fans think that? Do they not dislike the fact that where we are and what point we are in our season right now?
What
Ignorance
makes
is
it worse,
bliss, innit?
though? Yeah, but
Ignorance
what
is
makes it
bliss.
worse, guys?
Right,
right,
Maz,
is that-
I've got to jump.
All right,
Cheers
mate.
for having me on,
Thanks for
mate, and I'll
coming
catch
on,
up with you
mate.
later.
Cheers,
Take care of yourselves.
Have a
Cheers,
good
man.
one. See
Easy,
you later.
man.
And then
I think what makes it worse, guys, right, is I understand that players might not want to see angry fans in the stadium, right? They might feel pressure. They might feel, it's not a good atmosphere. So the pressure gets too much and they don't perform very well. But some players need that. Some players need the anger of the fans to drive them to want to be better, to prove them wrong. But at Spurs, we've cultivated the complete opposite. We've said, oh, no, don't shout at the players. Oh, they're so sensitive. Oh, you can't shout. We've got to get behind it. So, and today was the prime example of that. Is let's bring this fake positivity. Let's pretend that the fans love the players and we're doing well this season, and let's do a parade like that. That's really going to make the difference.
Just to help them along, right?
Yeah. And look what happened. Nothing happened. In fact, we got pumped 3-0 like we did, before. At their ground.
Even that, I think that's almost like we're trying to copycat what Everton did, right?
But the difference is it's almost like the players know that our fans have got no bollocks, which is why they're willing to fight with the fans. Do you see what I mean? We're just so woke as a fan base. That's the only terminology I can use for it. We're so liberal and wet and woke as a fan base that we've forgotten that we're a football club. Not us, the fans that go to the stadium.
Maz, I said this maybe a couple of years ago. It was actually before Basuma signed, and a couple of people were complaining he was accused and later found not guilty. But it was a time where every little thing comes up, and I'm just like, boy, and I'm just not so much. It's not so much here in the States, and like I said, we're not perfect and stuff, but a lot of the owners, um, for most of the major clubs, don't usually have this woke liberal like, and it's basically the owners say if you don't like it, then don't support the team or the club, and they sell out. But it seems like in England mostly that the clubs, even the better ones, they're very picky about certain things, and Tottenham out of all the teams is very, you know, very woke to the sense of to the point that there's no angst. The angst has been removed from the
Soft.
club, and the people that I've talked to, the Ians, but even before then, Arthur, who used to be on our channels long time ago, and they tell us, how the club was when Sugar was in power, and they protested. It seemed that part or soul of the soul of the club is gone, and I think Enoch killed it because the worst that people could get is just moan, you know. And I'm looking at Talk Sport. They have a picture of Abby, like that's the best that we could do. Like, Abby Summers. People just be upset, but not upset enough to have an angst to make noise. As
You know
as I
what,
said,
Mari? Yeah,
it's
but that angst that you're talking about, I think it goes to our users, super chat. So thanks, our user. Thanks for supporting the channel. He says,
it
"True
died
this
with
to
old
don't.
it
Best
died
out."
with old White Hart Lane. It died with White Hart Lane, because ever since then
Yeah,
it's become
but
soft.
but you see, I don't think if we were a proper fan base, I don't think that the hierarchy would have dared bring in someone like Tudor. But because they know we're so weak, they just went for any old option. That recommendation from Paretici's bin that they found that we should have got Tudor
After he left.
after he left. It's just we've got.
Mate, we was
We're
vocal
just
when we didn't want
directionless.
Fonseca. When we didn't want Fonseca, when we didn't want Gattuso, we was very vocal those managers
Oh
saying
yeah,
who we didn't want
exactly.
before we eventually
Online.
got.
That's just
Eh?
online. That's kind
Yeah,
of
but
online,
no,
though,
yeah,
isn't
but
it?
okay, online or not, JP, but there wasn't the same energy for this guy here, and I'm convinced. I don't know
Yeah.
about you, but there's no way Igor Tudor was the first choice they had. I'm positive of that. There's no way they thought, you know what, we know the guy that's going to get us out of it. It's going to be that guy. Yeah, he was where was he last year? Igor Tudor. That's the one that's going to get us out. Come on, man. You had Redknapp and Defoe begging, like literally saying, "Give us a call. We'll come. We'll come." Do you know what?
They even offered it to do it for free. For God's
Do you
sake.
know what I mean? I don't get it. I don't get it. And do you know what? Where are these guys to be held accountable? Managers after managers. Like, do you know what I mean? Where are they now? Where's Lange? Where's Flange? Where are they all, man? Where are they? Where are they? Where is this club? Where's this presence? Where's the statement? Where's
You
speak?
know,
Anyone? Does anyone speak at this club that isn't
no,
a
but
manager?
you know what is
I
funny
thought
though, right?
Vinay was now the new relationship person that he was.
Yeah,
He's
Mate,
now
he's gone
coming out and
missing, man.
Yeah,
Gone missing. Gone missing.
You
And
know when Rose says, "Oh, I
and he
have to
wrote
Google the
Google.
players' names to find out who they are." Oh, that's what we had to do with Tudor. And who's Tudor again? Is it that football player that I saw like 20 years ago, wherever it was? Oh,
it's
dear.
just, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Do you know what? This has been a long time coming, and for a lot of years, I think people glazed over that we wouldn't be in this. And I think even the fact that we finished 17th last year, the fact that we won a trophy, glazed over the fact that we finished 17th. Although we was way clear of the bottom three, it wasn't enough to say, hang on a minute, what's going on here? Do you know what I mean? We still, regardless of we was way safe of relegation, we still finished 17th. We glossed over that. We went into this year with a different manager, probably with a weakened team because the talented players, if you like, Madison, Kudos, Kulusevski, all injured, who were probably a bit part of that season last year. Kulusevski aside, we had the others available. So we are even weaker than what we were last year. And yet we didn't see this happening. Like,
But
I don't
Iggy,
know, man.
I'm
That's where
coming
fans.
to the.
That's where, sorry, Maz. That's where I don't see why fans can't be even more pissed off about it, because the fact that last year we finished 16th, the club have not done anything about it, and look where we are a year later.
Really,
And you're
must it
thinking about
must it really take relegation, or as Stel calls it, delegation? Must it really result to that to push
I-
people over the edge to protest, or
I
for
even
the
think
Just
club to potentially sell up?
I even
Must
think
it
Iggy,
even
no,
sadly,
take
It's
relegation?
Iggy,
never going to
sadly,
happen. It's never going to
sa-
happen.
I don't think it's
you.
going to happen. I,
I
don't,
even
I
think
honestly
no,
don't think
Iggy. I think
relegation's
people
going to
are
do that.
still coming.
Iggy, no, the reason why I say it might happen because in life in general, people don't change until pain comes. It's why telemarketers they call you and they try to sell you
Mo,
something
is this
in
not
regards
pain
to
enough?
need and
Is
pain.
this not pain enough?
It's not
We have
enough.
to go through relegation.
It's
We
not
have to go
enough.
through potential another. You know,
Yeah.
Oh
going down to
no.
relegation, being relegated means you are no longer like Premier League status is gone. European football will be gone for years and then. And I hear what a lot of people saying. What's the
It
point
takes
of having
pain.
European football if you don't nothing amounts to nothing? But this could set us back for years. This could be a decade. And people will say, well, it takes as long as it takes. But there's no
Iggy,
guarantees that you go down and you're coming straight back up. This could be
Ig,
like the
The
championship. For
championship's
people that
hard.
don't know the
Iggy,
championship,
It's a
Iggy,
hard
it's
league.
Iggy.
it's a tough league, man.
Iggy, I try to watch. You know, sometimes at night before I go sleep, I watch some documentaries. The rise of AC Milan in the '80s. I just watched one on Parma, Sampdoria. I watch a lot, and some clubs they came back from pain. I know it's more difficult. The only advantage I would say is because of our training ground and stadium. We have the funds, but in regards to football philosophy, we have to put a reset. We have to start from
But
scratch, from down,
but
and scratch
Mari,
is painful. No, and scratch is painful.
but
It is.
Mari,
It
look,
is.
you can have, and this is the thing I've realised with Enoch. You can have the funds, right? They've got the funds. If this was a building that they wanted to build,
It'd
they
be
would
fun.
find
It
the
would be.
funds,
Yep.
right? They'll
It would find the
divert
right.
the funds. They'll
They
find the
would,
right.
they would find the right contractors, the right
Exactly,
people that
right?
fit glass and
But
gas and everything.
what even when the football side has the funds, they don't see that as revenue and to invest back into the club. They see
No, I
that as
agree with you.
revenue to withdraw and allocate it into other projects that they want to do. And that's why I think when we go down, because I really believe we're going down.
think we are.
I can't see us steering the ship away, right? And even if Sherwood comes in tomorrow with Defoe or Redknapp or whatever, I think they've got a bloody tough task to do it because there's so few games
I
left.
think it's too late,
right?
Maz.
It's too
I
late,
think it's
yeah.
too late now.
But when we are in the championship, I don't think that they would know how to bring us back up. And they're going to have to make some decisions, right? They're going to have to cut their costs accordingly. But they're accountants, right? They're going to start making cuts, right? And once they start making cuts, they're going to be thinking, right, we've got to cut our wage bill. We've got to get rid of this star. We've got to get rid of that star. Okay, they start doing that. Where's the scouting system to bring in players that can fight in the championship and bring us back up? They haven't got a clue who's going to do that. They don't even have the right people now to do the scouting or the coaching. How are they going to have the right people in the championship? And you need the right people in the championship to do that. Because as we all know, it's a fucking hard division to get out of. Right? And the clubs that have got down, that have these structures in place, found it hard to get up. So how the hell are we going to do it?
I've got
Well,
the plan. I've got the idea of how you do it, Maz. I think
Go on, mate.
because we're really good at like inspiring players, I think this time for the next home game, we should have an open top bus instead, so that we can actually see the players, and then maybe it might give them some more inspiration than they already had today.
Yes.
I think that's the way we do it.
Danny,
I think
you know what?
I think the parade was a good idea, just the wrong application and the way of
Danny.
doing it.
Dan, just to answer Matt's question, the only difference is, and this is the hope that Stell brings, and this is the hope I have.
Yeah.
Yes, we go down and we suffer. And because I've always said, if we go down, the ramifications, that's why this game was huge, doesn't mean we go up quickly. I posted, I sent you guys a video a couple weeks ago that's even Sava did a show with Johnny about that the losses that they take, if it gets to that point, the hopes of Enoch finally say, you know what, we're taking a loss, we're gonna sell as high as we get. So when new owners come, they inherit a nice, and let's not front, that stadium right now currently is the creme de la creme of stadiums in England and all of Europe, and their facilities, right? So they're inheriting something that they can now say, okay, we could build ourselves up from third division, second division, and back to the Premier League. So I think there's a little difference in comparison to a Burnley that goes down and whatsoever, if the ownership change. But if the ownership stays, you're right. We go down, we may never go up because these are not football people. These are idiots run by Dumb and Dumber, Vinay and Lang. But if it goes down and the hopes of selling, who comes in, let's just say Ryan Reynolds, who's with Wrexham, has put them all the way up. Like if he's comes in, buys Tottenham, and I'm just using him as an example, then wow, I have an advantage. That stadium, the NFL games, if they still want to do business with us, like they have that advantage. So yes, you're correct,
Mari,
but not totally.
Someone who
on
has-
that point,
Someone who
sorry,
has
Drew.
football
Yeah,
at their
but
main
don't you remember
target.
from yesteryears, guys, right? Where we were talking about what ownership would we like to come in, and we made the point that when you look at ownerships that have come in to, let's say, Liverpool's, Man City's, even Newcastle's, right? They come in because they want the glory as organizations. They don't come into it for money. They come into it because they see it as a prestigious organization and sporting success to be a part of, right? It's like sports washing, right? It gives them credibility. It helps them meet their political aims. It helps them meet their business aims in different areas of their investments and businesses, etc., etc. These guys won't have one business; they'll have multiple investments and interests around the world, right? But they're winners at heart, right? And in their mind, they want to win, right? And they come into football thinking, right, I know that I need to be successful and make this club be successful, because that then is a reflection on my business and my investments and my interests. Enoch don't think like that. They literally think like estate agents. Like, I'm going to sell this house and I'm going to get profit from it. And then I'm going to get another house and sell it to the next sucker, and I'm going to get profit from it, right? They're like estate agents. They're not proper business people in the sense of, let's be successful, let's grow this thing, let's raise our revenues because it gives us glory, it gives our company credence, it gives us prestige, it gives us gravitas. They don't think like that, whereas the Saudis do, because the Saudis know, right, that when they're negotiating, I don't know, in other parts of the world for their other businesses, they can be like, well, we've got this thing in England that we do, you might have heard of it, Man City, and we've won everything there, look how good we are, right? But
It's part of their brand, isn't it?
Yeah, it's part of the
It's
brand.
the base,
yeah, it's for lack of a better word, it's like an investment vehicle, but they're not using that. They're using that as a vehicle to bring in other investment for different things. But Tottenham, they use us as an investment vehicle, but not for glory, just purely as accountants, just to make their bottom line look good elsewhere. They don't care whether we win or not. They just want the revenue to be good and the profit to be good. And this is why I don't think that when we go down to the Championship, we're ever going to come back up. Because I don't think they know how to do it. If they knew how to do it, then they'll put in coaches and processes and systems and infrastructure around the club. And I'm not just talking about building infrastructure. I'm talking about personnel, right? To build us, a world-class academy that brings in, world-class youngsters into our team, so that they can either be integrated to the team or we sell them for profit. But we don't even do that. We bring in youngsters and we sell them for like 1 million, 2 million. Whereas when Chelsea do it, or when City do it, or when Man United do it, or when Liverpool do it, they're selling for millions and they make it profitable.
And buy another youngster for 40
Yeah.
million who's worse.
So
I think
Danny,
Yeah.
sorry,
I was just going to say, I think really quickly, the kind of like the whole fact that I get, and I guess this is going on to the delegation thing, is the fact that I get his idea and I get what he's thinking about, and the fact that it will force them, whereas at the moment, are they a bit blasé about, we're in the Premier League, we'll just hire a couple of people, we'll chuck 40, 50, 60 million every season and just get by, and as long as we don't get relegated, if we're near the top, it's good. The rest of it is for our business, right? If we go down and it impacts them in their pocket that hard, will they now be forced to put those right people in place, whereas they're a bit blasé about it now? That's a fine line, right? Because it's a case of, yes, they'll probably think about doing that, but they're advertising on LinkedIn for a fucking director of football. How do you think they're going to find people for the Championship?
Wait, is that a joke?
No,
What?
they actually do that.
Spurs are actually advertising for a director of football on LinkedIn.
They were looking, apparently. I heard.
Oh, I mean, we did that for the medical team, so I don't know why I'm surprised.
Wow.
That's what I'm saying. The whole people at the club, there's no one that knows a good director of football. And
They don't have the
Do you know
network.
what-
They don't
do you
have
know
the
what-
credibility of the network
I'm
around.
even talking
No,
about
but you've said it yourself. It's because they're not football people. That's why they don't have the network. Because none of them know anything about football.
Danny, we've got like Gary Mabbott there. We've got Clive, what's his name? Clive Allen there. We've got all of these Ledley King there. You're telling me these people don't know anyone
Yeah,
in
but
football?
they're obviously not using them for the things that they should be using them for. They're using them to display Tottenham as like a PR thing, like a mascot.
Yeah,
in a sense. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, for dinners and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
Sky
bloody-
Sports.
These people need to speak up, man. Now
They're not
literally-
gonna. This is
taking-
all. Do you know what? JP? You make a massive point. This is also a thing I have a massive problem with is these legends, these so-called legends. All of them, because they all want their little 2 pence worth from the club, and they don't want to be in the club's bad books because they know if they speak out and say exactly what they feel, they're not going to be allowed into the stadium. They're not going to be allowed into the games. They're going to be banned. And this is the toxic, disgusting nature of this football club. Because if the people who really care about the club can't say what they truly feel about it, then it's never going to work.
But that looks even worse on them, though, Danny, because what they're doing is they're taking the coin and watching the club go down.
Selling their soul for the devil.
And watching the club
I've
go
lost
down.
a lot of credit to Ledley King. The last time he spoke, I was just like, Ledley, what club you talking about? Tottenham? Are you sure you talking about Tottenham? You must be talking about a different club that has ethics, that has a winning mentality. Because the last time I heard Ledley talk, it wasn't about Tottenham because we don't do this here.
But also, Mari, do you notice how whenever these people come out and speak, like your Dawsons, like your Mabbotts, like all of these people, right? every single one of them, they always try to speak positively. They never talk about what's really going on, what they really feel, because there's no way
Too woke.
any of those
They
players.
do behind the scenes, Dan. They do behind the
think?
scenes, just not in front of the cameras.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Look,
Yeah,
I
no,
just
I'm
want to
telling
say,
you,
what
I've
we do-
actually had- I've actually had conversations with a few of the ex pros.
All
No,
right.
And
but that's just two-faced, though, Iggy. That's no good.
no, because they're
This
ambassadors
is-
of the club. They don't want to go against the club.
But
They're
this is where they
ambassadors.
need to stand up. So they want to be an ambassador club, but watch the club deteriorate into the
Yeah.
championship.
Yeah,
Well,
no,
look, I just want to answer.
only ex-players. Like, do you remember what happened to Jamie
Let-
O'Hara? I mean, he continues to do it.
Look,
don't get me wrong.
Let me just
But
answer
do you remember
yeah,
they
yeah.
tried to
quickly, and then
silence him
we
when he
can
did it?
continue this.
Yeah, I
Right,
remember.
Rob Plan. He says no. Hedge funds are there just for profit. Yes, their primary function is for profit, but they're also used right as like investment vehicles and reputation building
Hedge funds,
vehicles.
hedge funds are
for
always.
for billionaires, right? So they'll have a massive portfolio of businesses where they'll get credibility by being a part of that fund, right? And
But it's
seeing
not
it
just
doing
that.
well.
It's not just that, Maz. I've worked for hedge funds for years. Their main goal is to go into a business, make it better, and sell it on for a profit, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Which is what investors do, right? That's
Yeah.
what the whole point of an investment company is for. And the fact that investors or an investment type company who specialize in property investment have bought Spurs, the football club, and they've essentially made it more valuable. But now they're declining the value of it because they're not managing it correctly.
Yeah, and they also use the high performing parts of their investments as leverage to do other
Correct.
things that they
Yeah.
want to do, which is what the point I made earlier. Anyway, look, I agree with JP on this, and Dan. I'm glad you raised it up. I've like you, I've met a lot of the pros, right? Again, for the benefit of people who've just tuned in and seen us for the first time. My uncle, right, had a box at Spurs. I've been going to Spurs for the best part of 20 years. Whenever I could go, I would go and go in the box, right? And when you're in the box at Spurs, you get the ambassadors coming to the box where they'll know my uncle, they'll know the owner, his company and the owner of the box, etc., etc. So I've met most of our ex-pros, and yes, they do have their own opinion. But I'm with Dan on this. When it gets to the point whereby they see the club changing and it's not Tottenham anymore, which is what's been happening for the last, dare I say, certainly the last 7 years or 6 years, but since Enoch took over, at some point you've got to make a stand. You've got to say, yeah, I know they're giving me this ambassador job, but I love the club more than just being an ambassador for the club. And what you're doing is wrong. And they, if they stood up in unison together and galvanize the fans to want better for their club, right, then we wouldn't be in this situation.
And do you know what, Maz? Just to add to what you just said, that's my gripe with them, is because they would rather worry about their own paycheck, right, than actually for the love of the club, of what's actually going on. Because if they cared about the club, in my opinion, I might be wrong, but if they cared about the club the way that we care about the club, right, then they should be putting the pressure to the media, right? Because if they're saying things internally, now I know some things should be kept internal, right? But if they are saying things internally like Iggy suggested they are, right, which I probably don't doubt that either, and nothing is changing, then how do you force that? You have to put the pressure on them. But they know if they come out publicly and say all the things that they want to say, or what they've been talking about, say internally, then it's going to put the pressure on the club, on the board, right? But they know that if they do that, they might lose their jobs.
But
that's why they don't do it.
This is why you have non-executive directors in boards, right? You have ex-pros as non-executive directors, right? To be there, is that the right word? Non-executive. Oh, I'm so angry today. My mind's going blank, right? To be there on the board without any voting rights, but just to be a voice of wisdom to the board members to say, no, guys, look, when I was at Spurs in 1963 or 262, we did it this way. We had these types of people in
The
there.
ethos of the club is this.
Yeah,
and you need
right.
to follow.
And they guide the board and say to them, this is what you should be doing. You have football people around it on the board, right? Advising them, right? They don't have to be shareholders. They can just advise. And you used to have people like Pleat there whispering in Levy's ear, right? But Pleat, but Levy and Enig managed all of these voices out of the club. Everyone who loved Tottenham and had any invested interest into Tottenham, they've managed them out of the club and they've got rid of them all. They've all left. You don't have your Tim Sherwood there anymore. Defoe was there. You saw him in the interview with Talk Sport. He went on there and he said, he wanted to have a coaching role with them and they wouldn't give him one. You know, he wanted to work with our strikers to help them with their finishing. And even when Clive Allen was there, right, helping Defoe with his finishing, he's gone. Why is it Clive Allen still part of the setup at the club? I know he's getting old now, but why he should still be there?
Anyone that has a strong identity
Yeah.
with the Tottenham Hotspur brand, such as the people that you mentioned, have been marginalised from this club to now.
Agree.
Talking about Perry, one of the greatest captains at this club, out. Mickey Hazards and they're all like ambassador sort of roles. Hoddle, anyone like you mentioned, Defoe was the latest one. He actually come out and said it. You know, he wanted to help the strikers, have a role in helping the strikers at a club. No, Harry
they want
Redknapp
Ryan Mason
completely
instead.
bypassed him to go and get Tudor. So anyone that has a strong link to the club, but it's happening also with the fans. Really, they try to get all the diehard fans marginalised away from the stadium to have visitors and tourists, which is nothing wrong with that. But you can't, you know, they just want daily people that visit on a day and then that's it. They don't
But
want
as a
people.
business model, Iggy, that's going to decline, right? Because if we get relegated and we end up in the championship, how many day-to-day trippers are going to turn up to go and watch a team in the championship?
I know for a fact, man, that there has been many Spurs fan, and this could be said for many clubs that have gone sort of corporate mode. Many clubs that have left watching Tottenham to go and watch non-league football. They either go down the bottom of the road. There's Harringay Borough. They play down the bottom on White Hart Lane, or there's other clubs. You know, it could be Enfield Town or whatever else. They've stopped following Spurs and started watching non-league football.
That's a diehards, right? But
Yeah, because
I'm talking about okay, so we're
I know what you're saying. The interest will die off. Of course it is. Yeah. The moment you go to the Championship, they're no longer Premier League. They'll go follow someone else.
Yeah, exactly. So, but then also these tourists that we want in every day, just to come in, go buy merch, go have a good day. You know, it's an experience. Come and enjoy the Tottenham experience. It's no longer going to be an attraction anymore in the Championship.
Listen, you're absolutely right.
Today's numbers are going to die down. The hard-going kind of core fans who have been eased out, shall we say, like
that's why a lot of fans,
the OAPs and stuff like that, all of their season tickets are still at a higher rate and everything like that. It's all been cut. They're obviously out. So changing
but that's
the
why
model.
there's an argument of why people want relegation. So that all that.
Oh
shit
yeah,
goes
no, that's
to
what I
the-
mean. But I don't see how they don't.
I'm still of the opinion that I don't want relegation.
No, well, I don't want relegation, but
I hear all these people that want it.
it's the bigger picture, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's the bigger picture. I understand this season it's going to hurt, and last season it would have hurt.
I think
But
people want
looking at the bigger
relegation.
picture-
Sorry, JP. I think people want relegation because they want the fans to. That's the only way they're going to get back at the fans. If I'm honest,
That's how I'm starting to feel as well, to be honest.
because
But
I think
those-
people are
those
so
fans-
disappointed in not obviously the ownership and the club, but I think from the sentiment I'm seeing in the chat and on other chats, I think people are more pissed off at the fans not fighting
Yep.
than what the club. And I'm in that camp. I'm in a way, and the fans that done that parade today have made me hate the fan base more than the bloody club, because it's
But
like,
how do they feel now? All
what do you
those
mean,
people
how do
that
they feel?
turned up waving their flags and like smoke and stuff. How do they
They
feel
can
now?
feel whatever they want. I mean, at the end of the day, they're still right. They can do whatever they want.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, like, now that hasn't worked, right? What next? Do we start
Exactly.
writing them all love letters?
Well, Danny's had a brilliant idea. We'll do an open top bus parade next.
Do you know what, Dan? I like when I saw that bus, I heard Stell the other day talking about the fact that obviously now or not we, but the little fan clubs or whatever that collaborated on having this kind of outside party or whatever like you want to call it, that they went to the club and almost the club were like, yeah, we'll do it. We'll organize a bus. I saw pictures of that bus. Those windows were blacked out.
Yep.
Do we actually know if there were players in there?
No, there's no way. This is what I'm saying.
It's just a black
honestly,
bus, mate. A black bus with Spurs on it, with the windows blacked out, right?
Yeah, they could have been on another bus, just random.
They drive in normally. Like people wait outside the ground to watch the players drive away themselves in their own cars.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. It could have been absolutely anyone, but
I'm just thinking, okay, so everyone's bowed down to this group now to say, okay, let's go hoorah, rah, rah, and cheer the fans. Well, like now their mentality is what now? What do we do now? Okay, that didn't work.
JP, I'm over it. This group, less and less they've fallen into one or two pressures, and it all goes back to PR. No one is brave in regards to leadership. I'm talking about the change for Tottenham, the other board that's been there for years. Good job getting disabled seats for others and all these nice little knickknacks. But when it comes down to it, when it comes to facing Enoch, they will back down, and we have no one to take the lead. And the ones that we have to take the lead, because of rumors and gossip, people don't want to associate. And it's like, okay, even if you're not fond of the few who are in charge of the previous protests, if you love your club so much and you believe that that's the problem, and that's the thing, a lot of people will tell you, yeah, eating's the problem. That's what makes it worse. They know the leadership is the problem, but they do nothing. They do nothing because of fear. And it's just like, it's almost like in the culture, if you are caught protesting, like you won't get the job that you want, or you'll be ridiculed. And like, I don't understand it. I don't get it. If you protest anything politics, all walks of life, you don't lose your status. You don't lose. I don't know how it is in London. I don't know how things work, but you know, I don't get why protesting is looked upon like ew. But then you have Chelsea and Arsenal. They're based in London. Manchester even canceled a game. Dan was here earlier, but he left. Oh, you can't cancel the North London Derby by having a protest. But United did it, and like they did against Liverpool a couple years ago. So I don't know how our fans have come to the point where there's an indignation towards protesting. It's beneath us to protest. Yes, I'm upset about the club, but protesting is beneath me. Like I don't
Sound like Daniel Levy.
get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. It's wine and cheese mentality. I it's just weird.
Well, look, we've been going on for an hour and a half. I personally don't have anything else to say on this. I'm so disappointed. with just the state of the club, the state of our fan base. It's just
The thing is,
what else is there to say about this lot?
no, I mean, I'm listening. I'm looking at one of the comments. Well, why do you want to be in the Premier League? We're not good enough to be in it. But the thing is, right, on what we've seen, on the back of what we've seen this season, absolutely, you're right to say that. But I'm just saying the reason why we're in this such situation is because we have so many incompetent people working at the football club that it is beyond the joke. Before we even get to the managers and the players, above there's so much incompetency, and I've said this many a times. So, boy Spurs, I've said this many times. At the biggest club in world football, biggest club, Real Madrid, they have a president, a general manager, and coach. That's it. They don't have all these 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 names. 3: president, general manager, and coach. And sometimes that is all you need. Everyone doing their job and everyone being held accountable. You know already that the running of the club, you go straight to the president. You general manager, who's the mediator between the coach and the president. Yeah, provides the players, the director of football, whatever you want to call them. Yeah, you know that's what his role is. And if you have an issue with that, and then the coach is the one that runs the team. That's it. You don't have this Vlange, Vinay. It's just a mess at times. So many people at Spurs that are doing nothing, and they continue to get away with it. The incompetency is beyond the joke. It's beyond the joke, and that's what we should work. Because this, honestly, this club doesn't need much because it's already there. We have everything at the club to be doing way better than what we're doing. We, as a club, choose not to. We're in the top 10 richest club in world football. That's a fact. We're there. So money is not an issue. Stability at the club in terms of finances is not an issue. We have so much going on within the stadium, like, outside the football activities, not an issue. Everything there, but the running of the actual football. That's what needs to be sorted out. And it wouldn't take much to sort it out and to get a good manager with a project and get them the support. Pay the money. If you want proper players, you need to pay the money because otherwise they won't come. You can't have a team full of kids and you can't have a team full of prima donnas, but somewhere in between. Do you know what I mean? All these situations can be easily resolved, but for some reason or
Iggy,
another,
look, let's end on this, right? Is there, and I'll go round, and this will be the last question. Is there do we have one last Hail Mary left? Right, we've got 3 weeks. Are we expecting Hugo to be sacked and Tim Sherwood and/or Redknapp to come in now, or is it just too late? So I'll start with Dan, and then I'll work my way around. So Danny, what do you reckon?
I think they need to get rid of him.
it's really low, Dan. Your mic's really low.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they need to get rid of him. I think if you actually look at the last 5 games, compared to the last 5 games from Frank, every single statistic is worse with Tudor. And I'm talking about the Premier League, not any other competition. Yeah. So we have actually got worse. I didn't think we could get worse, right? I still think we could have got by, but we actually have got worse. Like we're conceding it. So in Frank, we were conceding 2 goals a game on average. Now we're conceding 3 games ago on average. Like, and a goal scored is actually less on average. I think it was, I can't remember, I was looking at the stats earlier, but every stat is worse. It's crazy. So I think they have to get rid of him because I think today proved to everyone, if not in my opinion, that when you've I know it's the Champions League, I know that we had no pressure, but to go and take out and not start the exact players that played in that game, especially, it's criminal. I said it earlier on, Iggy. The fact that Xavi Simons is our most creative player in the Premier League statistically this season, right, with chances created, and he didn't start him today, and he didn't start Paulinho, and then he went to a back 3 again. Like, it's mind-blowing. That, for me, is a managerial, like, do you know what, you might as well fire me kind of thing. Like, for me, you've got to get rid of him because they've got 3 weeks now to get a manager in and try and get something out of these players, even if it's just to draw games. Just to if we can
Pick
if
up
we can
points, man. Pick
Yeah,
up points. It's all about
Iggy.
picking up points.
I'd go back to how we were at the beginning of the season when Frank was basically trying to set us up not to get beaten, right? It was horrible to watch. It was horrible, but we were picking up points here and there, right? That's what we need right now. We need someone who's going to come in there and who's just going to make us hard to beat. I don't care if you put 12 men, 10 men behind the ball, right? And just counter. That's it. That's what we should be doing. But look, I think if they keep Tudor, I think I've said it before he came in. We're going to go down like 1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. For me, the only way that this club have got a chance of staying up is the teams below us, like West Ham, doing worse than what we're doing, right? And on top of that, they have to get someone in that can manage these players. We don't need someone who's gonna be this kind of like Conte type, Tudor type leader in for the players. They need someone to hold their hands, give them a dummy, right? Pat them on the head when they've kicked the ball well, right? Say, there, son, you've done well today, right? That's what they need because they're all babies, right? So that for me is the only way I see this team having any chance of staying up.
Okay, Maury. One last Hail Mary. Did we make the change?
Man, I don't really think it. I don't really think it make a difference. The only person I could think of, and they're not gonna do it, is it's really like a Big Sam type. Someone that is just so focused on defensive. Let's just get the points. Because right now, I don't see us winning another game. But if we could get a couple of draws, get a couple of points, it might be just enough to keep us. But does it even really matter? Because maybe yes. But because today, that's on Tudor with that starting lineup. I'm sorry, man. To have Gallagher, Polina, and Xavi, our three best midfielders on the bench, that's
He had 20 players to pick from today.
yeah.
Oh yeah, that's another thing as well. Yeah, he had 20 players, which is more than we've had in a long time, and he still did worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's bad.
It's bad. It's really, really bad. I mean, it's just. I mean, like he did set himself up for criticism, especially after Wednesday, right? Our best performance of the year, and you're Xavi, you're not starting him. Polina against Forest
goals.
midfield.
Nuts.
Man,
JP, one last throw of the dice.
So I'll be honest. As much as it hurts me to say, and I don't like to say it, but when I was there today, I just had this sinking feeling in my stomach that I can't see a win coming. Watching those players perform, like again, it's chalk and cheese compared to Wednesday night, to when it matters. And we all know every time it matters, this is kind of the result we end up getting. And I honestly can't see it, I honestly can't see it. So whether we get rid of him or not, I kind of think it's here nor there. But like the two out of the box square ideas that I'll throw out there is one, you just go, don't have a manager, let the players do themselves. Or we look for a manager per bloody game. But if it goes around getting kind of like sack Tudor today, tonight, tomorrow, who is it out there? Realistically, you've only got Harry Redknapp who wants to throw his hat in the ring, right? As I've said to like everyone, as I've said to everyone before, I don't think there'll be a lot of managers lining up for the job now. Maybe before the West Ham game, after the West Ham game.
You don't think that I mean, Klinsmann said he would come.
Yeah, but
right? Hoddle said he would do it. I mean, Robbie Keane. I think someone in the.
I wouldn't
Robbie
I wouldn't want Robbie Keane to tarnish what he's doing right now at that
Yeah.
club, because he's doing quite well there. And by him leaving that and coming over here as an SOS or something,
Yeah.
will kind of almost screw him up a little bit or like put him backwards. Longer term, Robbie Keane, if it works out and his trajectory is good,
Maybe that'll be the
by all means.
perfect job for him in the Championship. Bring us up.
Yeah, by all means.
Yeah. Iggy, what do you reckon, mate? One last Hail Mary?
Yeah, I'll keep it short and sweet. We absolutely need to get rid of Tudor. He's out of his depth and nothing, 1 point in 5 games. And we're not, like Danny rightly pointed out, we're actually getting worse. So we have this last roll of the dice, is what I would call it. And absolutely bring Redknapp in with Defoe maybe as a system. Do I think this board is going to do it? No. I think we'll get rid of him and we'll make another shambles of a decision. But I do think we need to do something now, because it's not getting any better. And this is the last now international window to get things sorted in our house, to try and really go and get, 2 wins, maybe 2 wins out of the last remaining games is what we probably need to. 3 would probably be a certainty safety. So we need points and we need them now. And under Tudor, they're not forthcoming. So we need to change it immediately. I thought an announcement will be imminent, but it hasn't come as yet. But we shall see.
There's something about a family member being ill or something.
Maybe
with
they
him, right?
can't.
Which is why.
Listen.
he didn't take a
Outside
test
of Spurs matters, I won't even get into. I'm sorry if that's happened, but it's got nothing to do with what we need
I
to
know.
do at Spurs.
I
He needs
Agree.
to go. He needs to go, man. He needs to go straight away. And
Yeah.
the problem is with this board, to really round up my thinking process, I don't trust them to make a right decision, because right now they're in panic stations. And when you're in panic stations with pressure piling to get another man in that situation, you're probably going to make another wrong decision.
Yeah, you're probably right, Iggy. It's like Conte
Yeah.
would always say, "This a club."
But he also said, Danny,
Yeah,
you can change many managers.
yeah, that's true.
The situation will not change.
It's true. Believe me.
Believe me. That was his
Right.
parting shot.
And
Nothing's
Yep.
changed.
Look,
I love it. It's true.
I think that you've got nothing to lose if you roll the dice again and you get another manager in. I mean, it looks like we're going to go down anyway, so you might as well try. Ultimately, it's a gamble that they need to take. Do they spend 20 million odd to get rid of Tudor now and bring in, Sherwood or Redknapp?
We're
Or
going to
do
lose a
they
lot more
get
millions if we go
relegated?
down,
Yeah.
Maz.
If they get relegated, then they're going to lose 200-400 million quid. So they've got a choice to make. And on that note, thanks everyone for joining us this evening. It was a really good chat. Obviously, a bit fiery in places. We're all annoyed about what's happened to our once great club. I'm not going to say great club anymore because I don't feel that way about them anymore. And we'll see you guys next week. Well, are we going to do a show next week? We've got 3 weeks now to mull over. Maybe we'll do a show when the new manager comes in. We can talk about what formation he's going to.
Would that be on Tuesday then?
Yeah, Tuesday.
Yeah, see you next week.
Might be tomorrow, lads. You never know.
But, look,
Could be
we'll
tomorrow.
try and do a show anyway next week and round up what's happened, or if anything's happened. Maybe we'll have a week off and do another one when there's a game. But cheers everyone.
Much love, everyone.
Cheers, everyone.
care, everyone.
Good night, and come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
Enoch out.
Enoch out.
Every day.
Out.
Purple and gold.